What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back in here, one more reaction video, ladies and gentlemen. And today I got a wild one for you out of Memphis. I grew up watching a lot of South Park, also watching a lot of the Boondocks, and those shows were hilarious to me. But I never thought the stories on there would become reality. And I got one out of Memphis. Like I said, it's just gonna if you're standing up, it's gonna knock you down. If you're sitting down, it's gonna make you stand up. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. The goal is to reach 1 million subscribers and start 1 million thought-provoking conversations. But if we can reach that 100 million mark, I'm a firm believer we can kill the narratives in today's world. We just spirits encased in human flesh trying to figure out this thing called life. Not nearly as divided as the mainstream media wants you to think. Now, as I've said, man, I was lucky enough to grow up in a two-parent household with my mother and my father, so I got a fair balance of the masculine and the feminine energy. And a lot of individuals in our community are growing up only with their mother, so it creates a huge imbalance. If there's a lot of young men are growing up over feminine, and a lot of young women are growing up over masculine. And here's a story about a woman who really stepped into her masculine frame.
35-year-old Latoria Lemons faces several charges after police say she shot into a crowd of children, injuring a 12-year-old boy. Memphis police say the shooting happened outside a home on Faxon Avenue last week. WREG learned she allegedly threatened people in the home just 2 days before the shooting. Police reports say she repeatedly called her ex-boyfriend, who is also the father of her child, yelling everybody was going to be dead and she was going to make sure of it.
Hold on. What now? This is crazy. And this is why I say extremely stepped into her masculine frame. My guy who this is your baby mama, I need to have a conversation with you and say, what type of relationship did y'all have? Was she acting like this before you decided to lay down with her? This is why man, we got to slow down and not think with our lower head. Because no one should have procreated with this young lady. This lady needs to be in therapy, 100,000,000%. But I want to highlight this video because these stories are becoming so normal, with women shooting. I did one a couple weeks ago where a woman shot a teenage girl in a road rage situation. And I didn't grow up with women being angry and hostile like this. This new music with women, trap rappers and all that stuff is going on, and stripper rap. It's causing some damage to the subconscious mind. I really think it is.
She was arrested, but released the next day. The following day, police say she drove past her ex-boyfriend's home and opened fire. The child is reportedly going to be okay.
To actually shoot a child and cause harm to a child is something that I honestly, for the most part, can't believe even happened.
We spoke to a woman who lives inside the home where the shooting happened, and while she did not want to go on camera, she says she fears for her children's lives. She says her biggest concern is that the suspect will come back to this neighborhood and cause more harm.
MPD says Lemon's 5-year-old.
Now think about this. We've all seen the movie Baby Boy, right? Where Snoop got out of jail. Snoop and Jody was fighting over Yvette. Every movie that you could think of, Soul Food, Jason Lyric, The Best Man, all of them, it always been men fighting over women. I'm not familiar of women saying, oh, you about to talk to another girl, I'm getting a strap and I'm going to shoot you. That is extremely masculine. And I keep putting that out there because this isn't normal for women to act like this. This is psychological programming of conducting yourself in a negative environment and consuming negative content over and over and over and over. No logical woman is thinking, I'm about to go get a gun and shoot in the house where some kids are because a man don't want to be with me no more.
Son was in the house during the shooting. Police say this is an ongoing domestic dispute between Lemons and her ex-boyfriend. Last year, she was arrested for allegedly cutting her ex with a knife during a custody exchange. Reports show he's filed multiple protection orders against her.
The type of domestic violence abuse that men have to face is it's astoundingly huge, and not many people like to talk about it.
Reporting in North Memphis, Kwame True-Woolborn, WREG.
And it is something that is extremely overlooked and never spoke of as male domestic violence. And I said, because I got to be honest, I grew up with my mom and my dad. My mom started a lot of shit. It wasn't always my daddy. She would be in his face, poking at him. You ain't this, you ain't that, you don't make enough money. And then he would he would sit there and just take it. And eventually he would get up and he would leave. And I remember my daddy leaving for hours sometime, going on a walk just to cool down, just to come back home and still be criticized by my mama. First, still to be in his face, talking shit about him, on the phone with her homegirls talking about him so he could hear. So I got to witness the domestic violence stuff from both sides, because that still doesn't excuse my father putting his hands on her at all. But at what point do you, as the individual in the relationship, say, I'm going to try to make this better? Like, I would never see my wife down and try to push her buttons a little more so she can explode. And she would never see me have a bad day from work or see me stressed out and try to pick on me when I'm down. Those are just toxic relationships. And because our music and our media glorifies toxic relationships, we think that's normal. And I'm here to say, no, young men, get far, far away from anybody who thinks they should yell at you, put their hands on you, disrespect to you, talk to you crazy, any of that. You are a king, you are a god, and you should be treated as such. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to do the work to demand that certain type of behavior from women, but don't ever just deal with a situation like this just because you're getting some butt at the end of the night. This ain't healthy for kids to grow up in. I say the best part about me growing up in a situation with domestic violence is I was able to rise above the environment and look at my parents and understand that they're just people. I don't have any judgment towards them. I don't have any resentment towards them. I love my mom. I love my dad. And they were just trying to deal with this crazy thing called life. But not everybody gains the mental clarity that I have, and they can forgive their parents. And if you don't make the unconscious conscious, you're going to repeat it in your life and call it fate. But young ladies, go to therapy. It is needed. It is extremely needed. My young men, keep growing to become the best version of yourself. And if you need some type of internal fixing, man, read books, go to therapy as well. But don't be out in this world as a broken individual trying to bring somebody else down. Go in private, become the best version of yourself, and then go out into the world and you attract what you are. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't shoot at no kids. We out.